LeBron James seen here hugging a former Clipper, wondering why the hell do I need to hug a guy who played for the Clippers, Magic, Pelicans, Mavs, and Bucks just to do a new podcast? And this is a picture of a current Clipper wondering how the hell did we actually lose to the Atlanta Hawks by 17 points at home? And finally, this is a picture of all the podcasts started by former and current NBA players. Welcome to the House of Takes NBA show. As always, I am Dave DeBaugh, and on today's show, we are going to take a sneak peek look at the brand new podcast coming out tomorrow with LeBron James and JJ Redick. Name of the podcast is called Mind the Game. I'll go ahead and play some of this and back with some thoughts in just a bit.
There's a lot of things, other things I would do in basketball too. Like it's a couple other coverages I would do. The pick the picker, BOB. Not bombs over Baghdad, but baseline out of bounds.
Yeah. America's play.
Yeah, America's play. Yeah. You have the guard, you have the best shooter sitting in the middle of the lane.
Yep.
You have the biggest wing sitting at the top.
Yep.
5 is on the strong side. You have the point guard taking it out. Yep.
Okay, so clearly this particular podcast is going to be a pretty serious podcast that actually gets into really what happens on the court. Now, I don't know for sure exactly how this podcast is all going to play out, but I think it's safe to say that at no point during this podcast are they going to say Jordan Poole is terrible and just have a 30 to 40 minute discussion just on that without actually getting into the specific details. One other quick point here as well is it's good to see JJ Redick taking some notes.
And then the weak side corner.
In the weak side corner. Yeah. It's not many times that the guy, the wing that's coming down the middle gets that pass. Because in theory, if you're guarding the ball, 1,000, 1,000, take away the basket and then jump out, right? To take away the shot. The guy that's guarding the ball, when he says 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, why doesn't he just take the guard that's coming out for the pick-the-picker, and the guard that's guarding the pick-the-picker guy just falls right to the guy that's taking the ball out?
Yeah.
It's a great question, and maybe LeBron should actually ask his own coach this question, and when Darvin Ham, and also ask Darvin Ham why he didn't play D'Angelo Russell in the fourth quarter for most of the first half of the season. Look, this podcast I'm sure is going to be fantastic. JJ Redick has definitely found a great career niche for himself post NBA career. You might hate him, you might love him, but one thing's for sure, when JJ Redick does something on ESPN's First Take, like E.F. Hutton, people talk about it, including Patrick Beverly, who has one of those stars in that stars photo that I displayed earlier of, current and former NBA players that actually have podcasts. Paul George, I think, has one of the best podcasts of all of the NBA players that have podcasts. I'm sure LeBron James's podcast with JJ Redick will be a hit. Basically, everything that LeBron James turns to gold. I also love the fact that they've got the bottles of wine out for this particular show as well. It is something that a lot of podcasts do. Kevin Hart does it on his Peacock shows as well. It is a good move for sure.
You go 1,000, 1,000. JJ Redick is flying off left, right, where he's dangerous. He can shoot straight up and down if he wants to, or he's going to fade if he wants to as well, maybe kick you.
It's my natural shooting motion. It's my natural shooting motion.
I'm guarding the ball. I just take JJ, and the guard who was chasing you just falls right to the guy that's taking the ball out. That's one. That's not. We could talk about that.
So no. So what's interesting about that? I like that. I'll tell you why. Because like someone who ran that play, right? So
to the notebook goes JJ Redick.
Whether I slipped or set the screen, I'm coming off. A lot of teams after 1,000 would send the guy guarding the takeout guy. They'd send him to me.
Yeah.
The problem is, my guy's still chasing me. So what happens? I get the ball. I don't have a shot because now I got two guys at me. It's a quick pass back to the inbounder. He gets a layup.
So don't chase you.
That's what I'm saying. It's actually a good coverage.
Take you to the screen.
Yeah.
LeBron can't believe JJ Redick's asking him that question. He had to pour himself another glass of wine. Okay. Look, I'm sure this podcast is going to be an absolute hit. Looking forward to watching and listening to the first episode of Mind the Game as it premieres on Tuesday this week. All right, that is it for tonight's NBA show on the House of Take channel. Hey, listen, we are a small show, certainly much smaller than what LeBron James and JJ Redick have. But definitely subscribe and, of course, like this video. We're a small show, trying to be big someday. Okay, for the House of Takes NBA show, I am Dave DeBaugh, wishing you all a tremendous rest of your sports viewing day.
You've been listening to the House of Takes NBA show with Dave Daba, presented by Stealth.ltd.